right, good evening and welcome, Heidelberg esports fans, to what is the first game of our doubleheader Smash extravaganza that's going on today, as we are competing in ECAC, taking on Herkimer County Community College. In first here for Heidelberg, we do have Dia Slime rocking the usual Steve or Alex, and for Herkimer, they have Devil Nook, that is rocking the blue Incineroar cat that you see on screen here. I will be doing shoutcasting duties along with stream duties today, so you won't see any shoutcasters on the right side of the screen like normal, but hopefully we'll be able to give you guys the play-by-play regardless here. And early on, we can see that Dia Slime's doing some pretty good work disrupting this Incineroar from their neutral game, using those mine carts to just create some space, get in, get out quickly. It does seem as though they've got some gold and diamond built up, so I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually will get those diamond weapons here. Incineroar's game as a grappler is very much going to try to fish for those in-your-face moves, and they get punished there by the forward smash from Alex, and it will now bring us to actually 11-11. We're once again tied back up here. Alex is going to be doing some crafting here, try to create some space with that minecart. Incineroar's trying to approach with those nairs. Seems to be quite prominent with them. Alex able to get the diamond sword now, which will do extra damage on every hit. Nice grab there to get Incineroar off stage. Does connect with the anvil, but they were able to tech out of that. And already up to 102% damage for this Incineroar. They're having a hard time getting in on this Alex for sure. Alex able to punish, but Incineroar still hanging in there. And a good smash attack will take care of that stock, and it will now bring us to Heidelberg 11 and Herkimer County 10. Nice grab there by Alex. And right now, this Incineroar is just having a tough time navigating. Trying to just do some poke damage, some good attacks there from the Incineroar as Alex is forced to recover to stage, which they are able to. Nice nair there from Incineroar. Surprised they aren't going for more grabs, because that's kind of the Incineroar bread and butter special. Tries for some smash attacks, but gets punished as a result. Alex with a nice smash, but not quite enough yet to send him flying. But they are unable to recover, and Heidelberg now is going to be in the lead, 11 stocks to 9. We are going to take a short break as we figure out who the next opponent is, and we will be right back, so don't go anywhere. right, and welcome back to game number 2 here, as Dia Slime does retain 2 of their 3 stocks from the first game. As you saw, they SD'd once there, and it looks like Herkimer County has sent in a Ridley player, but not just any Ridley, it looks like the metal Ridley. You typically don't see too many Ridleys in competitive, but as I say that, you can definitely see that they can be effective if they know what they're doing as they take a stock away from Dia Slime here. Actually, on our roster, Heidelberg does have a player that sometimes dabbles with Ridley themselves. They are big, they are beefy, and they have some good just forward attacks and range with some of those stab moves like we saw with the tail attack there. A good nair there from Alex, still trying to do some mining for some materials that will be better use. They try for the grab, but Ridley able to counter. Alex is forced to recover. A nice little neutral attack there. Nair coming off of the Alex. And right now, Alex having a tough time trying to get this stock as Ridley is already up to 180%. Just one good smash attack should do it, but having a tough time right now. Tries for the smash. Unfortunately, Ridley does connect, and they will be able to take that stock. So, as it stands, we are now tied once again at 9 stocks apiece. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back with game number 3 and the next Heidelberg player here shortly, so don't go anywhere. Alright, and welcome back, Smash fans, to game number 3 here of Heidelberg versus Herkimer County Community College. And it is all tied up. It is 9 stocks apiece. Heidelberg opting to send in our captain, Sam Show, rocking his Palutena. Ridley is one of his side characters, so he does know this character's kind of mechanisms quite well. So no surprise that he wanted to opt to hop in and see if he could take down this Ridley here. Palutena getting a good nair attack, tries for that explosive light off the side, unable to connect. Ridley goes for the grab, able to do a decent chunk of damage with that. Gets back-to-back grabs, and Palu now is struggling to regain that neutral. Ridley's trying to play a little off stage with that edge guard. Paolo with a good nair there, trying to create some space. Able to connect with that explosive light. And one thing I will say about this Ridley is they definitely have this character kind of on lock as far as like recovery and being able to maintain the spacing they need. As I say that, and then they whiff on the grab attack. Ridley is able to connect though with the smash, and it's now Herkimer with the first lead of the game tonight, up 9-8. Sam Show fishing with Palu there with the down attack, able to get a nair off. Tries for the explosive light, but the Ridley ain't gonna have it. Fireball's coming out. Palu able to dodge those, no problem. Once again, getting that nair going. Ridley able to get the grab, but not able to fulfill the full attack of that. And there with the down tilt, Sam Show is able to even it up at 8 stocks apiece. This is definitely a very good matchup here for both players. They definitely seem to know what they're doing ins and outs wise for the characters, as we saw a grab there. Ridley trying for the fireballs, but does not connect. Tries for another grab. Palu able to get a grab off there on the recovery for Ridley. And it seems like right now Ridley's strategy is they're trying to fish for those grabs, but also just now they're trying to get some of those neutral air pokes. Palu's able to recover, but with high damage, one good attack should do it. Unfortunately not there, but with that follow-up, it will now be Herkimer County up 8-7 over Heidelberg. Sam is dialed in though. He's not giving up. He's able to get a couple of good attacks off. Ridley whiffing on that. Unfortunately for Heidelberg, was able to recover. Will be able to recover again here. Sam tries to go off stage and create some havoc, but Ridley able to recover. Oh, and that Ridley SD's trying to finish off Palu there. Good for Heidelberg, but you hate to see that if you're the Ridley player. Final stock for both players here. Right now it's trying to play patiently and find those ins. Sam trying to get an explosive light there, but the spacing was not correct. Is able to get some back-to-back nairs, trying to hit the up tilt there. A good grab attack. Using those nairs is a good strategy just to keep that Ridley off a neutral game. Tries for a smash attack, but misses. Good read by the Ridley player to avoid the explosive light. Ridley trying to punish, but good warp from Palu. And both players neck and neck, back and forth. And with that smash attack, it will go to Herkimer County for that round. So as it stands, Herkimer County now up 7 stocks to 6. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with the next game here and the next Heidelberg player shortly. So don't go anywhere. Thank you guys for tuning in. All right, and welcome back for game number 4 here of Heidelberg versus Herkimer County. And as we've seen here the past few games, Ty Runty, the Ridley player for Herkimer, has been an absolute monster in both a gameplay sense but also character sense here. Heidelberg's response here, we're throwing in D-Dog as Pyra Mithra, one of the very versatile characters that can switch between 2 different forms. Right now we are in the Pithra form, which is the speedier, faster, lighter attack form. But don't be surprised to see it switch over to Pyra here once the damage gets racked up. Ridley with a smash attack, able to send D-Dog off stage. Tries for the grab, but able to dodge that. Good spacing there from D-Dog. Unfortunately, though, he was able to get that grab off on him. And with that attack off stage, Herkimer County now goes up 2 stock, 7-5. D-Dog's main focus right now is just try to get this final stock off as soon as possible without taking any more damage if he can. Switching over to the Pyra, you can see the flame attacks dealing a little bit more damage. Both characters just trying to do some neutral games. D-Dog hitting a down tilt there with the Prominence Revolt, and does connect with the Flaming End. That Ridley was not patient enough. Ridley, though, able to recover back to stage. Doing some good edge work there. Oh, and unfortunately that recovery just was not there, and it will now be 7-4 in favor of Herkimer. And with that smash attack, we are finally able to take that last stock off of Ty Runty. Now the score, Heidelberg 4, Herkimer County 6. We'll take a short break, and we will be right back with game number 5, so don't go anywhere. right, and welcome back, esports fans, as we see match number 5 here of D-Dog taking on Herkimer County's Stora, who is rocking Sora. Sora being the final character that was added to the Smash Ultimate roster several years ago now. And unfortunately, they're an early SD from D-Dog with going off stage and unable to recover. Herkimer will now go up 6 stocks to 3. We'll take a short break, and we will be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. What happened there on that? So misinput.
What do you mean misinput? I was expecting you to be able to do my FPL update.
Good character thing. Because we were wrong, they do not have to reveal their character first before stage bans.
So that just seems like
I think so. All right, welcome back, esports fans, to match number 6 of Heidelberg University versus Herkimer County Community College. And as we see, Herkimer County still rocking strong with 6 stocks. Heidelberg down to their final 3 remaining stocks. But we do have our assistant captain, Claus, in as Min Min. And as we've kind of seen throughout the season, Min Min is one of those versatile characters that can create a lot of space with those arms. And some of those arms have different abilities of bending in different ways that can catch players off guard. Good punish there from Min Min with the up tilt. Sora using their maneuver to regain neutral stage. Sora going off stage there, trying to prevent Min Min from recovery. Good up tilt there by Sora. Min Min was trying to go for that nair, but unfortunately Sora was there to punish. Misses that smash attack. Good down tilt there by Min Min. Min Min fishing for those grabs, but missed it 2 times in a row. Unfortunate there. Good grab there. Not enough, though, to catch them off guard. Tries for the side B, but misses. Good dodging there by the Min Min. And with the smash attack, it will now be Herkimer 6 to Heidelberg's 2. Bit of an uphill battle situation, but we've seen Claus up against the wall here time and again as he's able to take a stock. making it 5-2 in favor of Herkimer. And just when you think he's backed into a corner, he learns, he adapts, and he's able to get his neutral game going. Able to connect on that grab, good amount of damage off of that, and with that side smash, able to take another stock just like that. It's now 4-2, still in favor of Herkimer.
After that first stock, Claus is doing really good. Keeping distance from Sora.
Yep, Sora is seeming to remember that they have that side B and was cycling through the lightning and the freeze attacks there. Min Min, though, doing a good job, able to get a grab attack and a back throw off. Good shielding, misses on the grab, Sora's able to punish. Able to connect on the grab there. That time, though, tries for the smash attack with the Ram, but misses. Oh, that was a good play there by Sora not to get punished, but Min Min is still able to get them off neutral game.
Good air dodge.
And with that nair, that will take that final stock. So just like that, it is now still Herkimer up 3 stocks to 2. But we are not out of this yet, folks. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game number 7. Alright, and welcome back, Heidelberg Esports fans, to what should be the final match here of game number 1. Heidelberg's Claws rocking Min Min versus Herkimer County Community College's Molten Trap as Wolf. Now, Wolf is one of these characters that they do have a little bit of range with that blaster attack as we saw early on, but Min Min is just going to be in their face and trying to create havoc as much as possible. Min Min able to get out of that ledge trap there. Unfortunately doesn't have the spacing for the grabs just yet. Wolf's game is going to be in your face, just trying to create some chaos as much as possible. And he does hit that side attack, dealing some massive damage, but not enough to kill. A nice back throw from Min Min. And able to punish on that recovery. Tries following up with the, I forget the name of that big, Gigawatts, is that massive arm that deals heavy damage. Good grab and series of smashes, or series of hits there from Wolf. Good nair from Min Min. Min Min was trying to match the the air there of the wolf with those side attacks, but didn't connect. Good grab there from Min Min, punishing those up tilts. Wolf able to recover, but good nair, keeping him off his neutral game for the time being. Wolf with the grab, doing some jab attacks. Tries for another grab, but misses, gets punished for it. Min Min there, just trying to find that spacing and the timing there, and is able to connect, and it's a tied game, folks, 2-2. Herkimer still with slight edge just because of the amount of damage that Min Min has already taken on this stock, but Min Min's not giving up, and they're determined to do as much damage before bowing out here. Wolf missing that attack, Min Min able to punish, and doing a good job keeping him at a distance. Smash attack not enough. Good DI there from Min Min. Min Min with the grab and a back tilt, keeping him off his neutral game. Tries to punish, but Wolf able to recover.
Just throw my.
And that grab and throw will be enough to do it. It is now Herkimer 2 stocks, 2 Heidelbergs, 1 remaining.
But if boss can kill early,
Min Min doing a good job keeping Wolf on ledge there. Able to connect with a series of those neutral attacks. Good recovery there from the Wolf. Goes in for the grab. Finally able to do a little bit of damage on that final stock. Mistimed that smash attack, but good a try there. And that up tilt will be enough to tie it once again at 1 stock apiece, folks. You cannot ask for a closer game.
What a good game. I mean, pretty much neutral. Claws just having a little damage to him.
Wolf with the grab, not able to get too much off that though. Both players just being very cautious right now, being very cognizant as now Wolf remembers his blaster. Just trying to do some chip damage and make his job a little bit easier there, and unfortunately Min Min not able to shield for those attacks. Nice up tilt there from the Wolf as he's mixing things up on us. Min Min now having to adapt the play style just a bit. Wolf going in for the grab. Oh, and that up tilt, unfortunately, not enough of a comeback, but still a comeback nonetheless. Game 1 will go to Herkimer County Community College. We're going to take a little bit of a longer break here, and we will be right back with game number 2, so do not go anywhere. We are not out of this yet, folks. Alright, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to match number 2 here of Heidelberg University versus Herkimer County Community College. Apologize for the extended break there as we were trying to figure out just a few little tidbits of information with the rules with the other team. But we are back, 12 stocks apiece. Heidelberg is sending in Pyra and Mithra, and it does appear as though Herkimer has sent in Molten Trap once again as Wolf, which was the last player we saw from match number 1. Right now, both players somewhat even, just trying to disrupt their neutral games. With that wind-up, Wolf is able to punish, and unfortunately was unable to recover, and that will be the first stock taken, with Herkimer going up 12-11. Tries for the up tilt there for Mithra. Some good nairs though, and with the up tilt with Pythra able to connect. Trying to keep the character names straight sometimes can be difficult here, folks, so I apologize. And a good neutral air there, able to take care of the first stock for Wolf, and we are once again tied at 11 stocks apiece. Both players trying for their respective smash attacks and both unfortunately missing. Wolf with the grab, tries for some blaster shots there, but able to dodge. And the pesky thing about those blaster shots is while they won't kill, they definitely rack up the damage if you're not careful there. Wolf was trying to bait them with an up tilt, so unfortunately I'm unable to connect for them. Wolf connecting on a grab, able to disrupt with those blaster bolts off stage, but Mithra able to recover. Wolf with a grab, able to do some jab attacks, but those blaster bolts just not connecting, and finally Mithra able to connect on that grab, disrupting the Wolf from their neutral game for just a bit. Good down tilt there by Pyra. Tries for that side B. Wolf able to shield, but is able to get a neutral air there. And gets punished by the Wolf recovering. And that Flame Nova will put Heidelberg up for the first time this game, 11 stocks to 10. And just as I spoke, it is now once again tied back up at 10 stocks apiece. And good patience there, good recovery from that wind-up move. Opting to switch over to Pyra. Pyra with some good neutral airs there. And once again, Wolf resorting to the blasters to try to keep them off their neutral game on the main portion of the stage. It's going to be tough to approach from that angle, and I think D-Dog is just trying to be patient, and he is punished for that with that side B attack. Good series of attacks there from Mithra. And yeah, that Wolf trying to punish once again with that same attack does not connect. And D-Dog now is just trying to mess with him there with the blaster bolts as he sees right through the strategy plan here. Wolf able to connect on the series of attacks. Mithra whiffing on that attack, tries for the neutral game, but misses. Good grab there by the Wolf. Mithra able to recover. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a switch up here at some point and we see the Pyra now in the game. Wolf getting the grab off. Good attack, unfortunately unable to finish it just yet. Risky attack there by Pyra, but able to recover. Tries for the side B, but misses. And with that grab and that side smash, it will be Herkimer taking the final stock there off of D-Dog, as Herkimer County goes up 10 stocks to 9. We're going to take a short break, and we will be right back with game number 2. Don't go anywhere, folks. Alright, and we are back here with game number 2, folks, as Sam Show is now being sent in for Heidelberg here, this time rocking Ridley against this Wolf.
And doing an amazing job right now. I think the Wolf learned, some of us know that, the laser doesn't mean everything. And we can just sit on ledges and camp.
Yeah, and as we see it, we can see that blaster game is definitely still trying to be in effect here, as Wolf tries to go off ledge, but is unable to connect there. Really trying with the fireball attacks, tries for the jab, but Wolf able to recover. A good side slash there from the Wolf. And is able to connect with that smash attack, but not enough to kill. Wolf able to get a grab, tries for the blaster off stage. Ridley able to recover.
Misses the grab. Anybody is at killing percent at the moment.
Yeah, and I think right now it's just kind of a figuring out process for the smash, and it does appear as though Sam Show is able to connect on that smash attack, tying the game at 9 stocks apiece. We're going to take a short break, and we will be right back with game number 3 headed your way. Don't go anywhere. right, and welcome back, esports fans. We are now in game number 3. We are all tied up between Heidelberg University and Herkimer County Community College.
Very interesting matchup with, because Sam Show's main is Palutena here, so just interesting.
Yeah, and Devil Nook is a player that we saw in the first game. Was actually their Incineroar that they led off with, and so it looks like they decided to go a little different this time with Palutena.
It is a better matchup. It's a good matchup for Palutena.
But the good news for us is the fact that our Ridley player here, Sam Show, knows the move set quite well for Palu. Hopefully, we'll be able to take some of that knowledge into his gameplay here. Palutena with the grab. Forward throw does not do too much damage. Both players just trying to play off ledge there.
Nice grab.
Palu able to recover. Ridley with a missed grab there is able to get that smash attack off. Now trying the fireballs, but just a little bit late on them.
Both going back and forth right now.
Palu finally able to connect on that explosive light attack from range. And is able to connect with that hit, but not able to get... Yeah, not able to get Sam off his game there with the tech.
And it's D-Dog also.
Yes, welcome D-Dog. Apologies if you're wondering who is this mysterious second voice that's on stream. It is D-Dog, our Pyramithra player that we saw a little bit ago. And a nice down tilt there to take the stock off of the Palutena, and Heidelberg goes up 9-8 for the time being. So what do you think of this Herkimer team so far?
They have good players. Game 1 was super close. Their red lead is honestly their best player, right? As far as I see so far.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if that Ridley player, Tyrunti, does have other characters at their disposal. Just because, as we see here, this player, Devil Nook, even though isn't playing the Ensign, has multiple characters in their repertoire. Got to give credit here to Sam Show. He's able to withstand that volley of attacks and take a second stock here on his first stock.
And I think it's definitely showing that Sam just knows Palu better, because it's his main, and this is maybe this person's secondary character. So he just knows what they're going to try to go for, and he's not letting them do it.
Yeah, and right now, Ridley showing that staying power. He's trying to get some nairs there for Palu to hopefully jump over ledge, but they're not falling for that bait. Able to get a nair off, but not too much, but a grab attack will do some damage and getting Palu off stage.
Couldn't take there.
Yeah, unfortunately, we saw the writing on the wall with that stock there for Ridley, but you know what? 70% damage before getting that stock taken, we'll take it.
I'm doing an amazing job. And I think we picked Palu, same reason why Sam picked Palutena against this matchup. The last game is Palu just has a better matchup with Ridley. But as you see, matchups don't always matter.
So and right now it's kind of adapting to the play style, and we can see that Palu's trying a little bit of a different approach with the neutral game. Able to get the back throw and the explosive light off stage, so Sam now looking a little bit worse, but still not out of this. Palu with the nairs.
Trying for that same kill again.
And yeah, this bit of a mix-up I think has got Sam Show just on a little bit of a fluster trying to navigate, able to get a grab off and a forward throw. Good patience. Good patience there with the edge guard.
Does hit the fireball there, though. Just makes Palu just go a little bit lower, doesn't still recover. And there it is!
Yeah, with that side smash, finally able to take that last stock off that pesky Palutena player, as Heidelberg now in the lead for the time being, 8 stocks to 6. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with game number 4 headed your way here shortly. Don't go anywhere. All right, and we are back with game number 4 as we see that we
nice
have
little ditto match.
We have a Ridley v. Ridley situation here. Something you don't see every day, huh?
No, you don't really see too many Ridleys, so it's nice. Sam Show wanted to do this last game, but just felt like Palu was the better choice.
As we can see that Herkimer's Tyrunti here in the early game able to do some pretty massive damage on Sam Show's Ridley. Tries for the grab and is able to connect. Oh, that was dirty, Sam Show. That was dirty, and you'll love to see it.
Yeah, he knows that move. He's done it could be a couple times in practice. It's just a move that you honestly hate to be used on you. So.
I don't know if I've seen that hit in game just yet, but the fact that he was able to get that grab and just kind of steal the jump from that Ridley.
Yeah. Going back and forth here now.
Sam Show able to recover, but not for very long as the grab and smash there does take us down to 7 stocks, but Heidelberg still up 7-5 currently.
Now Sam Show with the edge guarding.
All I can tell you is in this Ridley matchup, we have like the orangish wings as he gets a nice smash attack, taking it down to 4 stocks now for Herkimer County.
Close game.
And it does appear as though the final stock has been had. So Heidelberg will now be up 6-4 as Tyrunti is looking to capitalize on that final stock remaining, as we are going to take a short break and we'll be back with game number 5 headed your way in a bit. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, everyone, to game number 5, I believe. 5 or 6. 5. We are sending Turtle Box in, not Sam Show.
Turtle in a box.
Turtle in a box.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Except for the parents that would want to see Turtle in a box. Good enough.
I just don't think I'll
You did.
I did? Let's go. That was like the only one I was like, I don't spell turtle. Bayonetta doing a good job comboing off. Not doing a bad job. Tries with their down air there. Back to neutral game. Nice witch time there, just not actual witch time. And it does take a stock. So Heidelberg still in the lead with 5-4. Yeah. Good job with comboing there. And Ridley's just has a really good recovery. But anything, I believe, right now would kill this Ridley right now. Spike. Doing an amazing job keeping the Ridley at bay. Just couldn't get it off in time, just like a pixel off. And it is all tied up. But like I said, Ridley is very close to death, so anything could really send this Ridley flying. And Bayo also just doesn't really have any kill confirms. And there it is. Good job with our Bayo. Bayonetta. And we will be right back. Just now realizing.
And we just realized since we switched who's the live stream coordinator that they forgot to hit the microphone. But if you saw it, Turtle in a Box was feasting there, taking a couple stocks on Stora.
Did an amazing job.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here, so stay tuned.
Alright, and we are back with the final game for Game 2. Potentially we could have, Game 3 going on here. So we'll see. We're sending in claws. We have to redo that. Paul's doing a nice job. Paul's doing a good job doing it. Nice freeze by the Sora. Tries to up B there to get, I think, the early kill, maybe. Nice Thunder. Probably see an up B there. No, do not. And that is game. We are going into a Game 3. So see ya, and we'll be right back for Game 3. And welcome back. This is game 3. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. Dia Slime took 3 stocks to 2 stocks against Stora. So now it is King K. Rool, which I do know where King K. Okay, I thought I knew where King K. Rool was. And what's funny is we always say that Dia Slimes always has to fight King K. Rools, like they're the first ones to fight King K. Rools. So it's funny that this is a King K. Rool. And good reflect or counter. It's honestly both with King K. Rool. But our Alex is doing an amazing job. Does hit the anvil. Does get the anvil again. Doing an amazing job. And there is stock number 1 versus this King K. Rool. It is currently 11-8. Dia Slimes is doing amazing work here. And King K. Rool already at 120. Tries for the grab, does miss it. Does hit the thing. Does hit it with its own crown. Does not do anvil again. And there goes Dia's not final, but second to last stock. Dia Slimes. And there goes King K. Rool, second to last stock. Dia Slime's doing amazing work right now. We did not think that that went through. Doing a good job. It looks like the K. Rool just is starting to understand what they have to do. Good game from Dia Slimes there. We will be right back. welcome back, everybody. So we are sending our Abarius, our Kirby main. Looks pretty even so far. We just have one more stock to take, and I think they got it. Good spike by Kincaid. Wait. Yeah. Just neutral game. Kirby doing an amazing job right now. Tries for the spike, does not get it. King K. Roll is at 181, so very close. And that is game! Heidelberg up 8-6. And we will be right back. I'm running with my head cut. I was running like a chicken back and forth.
Alright. Well, you don't have to run with your head cut out there. Why is my Wii in right now?
She wanted to
play in this game. Alright, we apologize for the delay on the shoutcasting here for this game, folks. We're trying to get things sorted as we actually do have another game to play here against Cleveland State shortly. But for the time being, we are in game number 3 in this best of 3, as we see that Incineroar was able to take down a stock off of Kirby, leading us now to 7 for Heidelberg, 6 for Herkimer. Kirby doing a great job taking a stock off. Or I'm sorry, that was Incineroar. Alright, and welcome back, Heidelberg Esports fans, as we are in game number 5, featuring Heidelberg Sam Show, taking on Herkimer County's Devil Nook as Incineroar. Sam Show once again opting in to play as Ridley. And this is going to be a battle of the brawlers, as both players are going to be taking advantage of those up-close and personal combats, as we see Sam Show able to get a grab off and a couple of jab attacks. Incineroar with a good back air there. And right now Sam Show having a little bit of a difficult time regaining neutral, as we do see that Incineroar was able to take that first stock, tying us up at 5 stocks apiece. Nice back air there from Ridley. And Sin tries for the grab, but good spacing and dodge there from Ridley. Ridley able to get a grab and smash, but good DI there from the Incineroar player, and is able to recover for the time being. Ridley was trying for those fireballs, but a good back air is going to take off that stock, and it is now 5-4 in favor of Heidelberg. Right now, Incineroar is waiting for Ridley to make the move. He is able to make a move there, but only just for a slight moment. And Incineroar there with that up tilt, now tying it once again at 4 stocks apiece. And Incineroar, unfortunately, unable to cover, but fortunate for Heidelberg, now going up 4 stocks to 3, as we are going to take a short break, and we will be back with game number 6 headed your way shortly. Don't go anywhere. Alright, and welcome back, Heidelberg esports fans, to game number 6 of Heidelberg versus Herkimer County in this best-of-3 series that is tied 1-1. Herkimer down to their final player here as Ty Runty is coming back in as Ridley. And Samsho with 1 stock remaining. Going to try to do something here against this Ridley player before hopefully rescinding his stock. And this is definitely a treat for some people here, as you don't see Ridleys too often in competitive, and the fact that you're seeing Ridley v. Ridley, it's definitely an unusual circumstance. A good back air there from Herkimer's Ridley. And with that, unfortunately, Samsho is going to be unable to recover. So we are once again tie game 3-3. Folks, you won't want to miss this, as it all comes down to this final matchup. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back in a few. comes down to this, folks, as Heidelberg versus Herkimer County. We're tied up at 3 stocks apiece in this final game. Heidelberg opting to send in our assistant captain Claus here on Min, and Ridley's already doing a good job at just keeping him off kilter, but does take a stock in the process, or does lose a stock in the process. So we are now tied 2-2. Both of these teams have been fighting tooth and nail all game long. It really is just a matter of plays here and there as we see Ridley able to get that one attack off. Min, though, able to recover, and Ridley able to do so as well. Min trying to keep them at bay for the time being. You can see the bending of the ram there from Min as Ridley is able to take that stock off and prevent the recovery, so Herkimer is now up 2-1 on Heidelberg. Good series of attacks. Tries for the gigawatt there, unfortunately doesn't connect. Min, though, gonna back up for some space. Still trying to find that that final attack that's going to hopefully take that stock off. Ridley fishing. Doesn't connect for the time being. And right now, this Ridley doing a good job just getting some damage, heavy damage on Min. But the gigawatt will take it and bring us down to 1 stock apiece. And right now, the trademark of Ridley trying to prevent the recovery there from Min does not happen that game as he's able to recover. Ridley fishing for that neutral air, and with that back air, will take the remaining stock from Heidelberg as Herkimer County Community College does get the win 1-0 in this game, but overall in the series 2-1. We thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to take a short break as we are now going to prep ourselves for game number 2 of this head-to-head as we now shift gears to Cleveland State University in our GLEC matchup. We'll be right back. right, and we are back, folks, with game number 2 of our doubleheader Smash-a-thon this afternoon and evening, as we are now moving over to GLEC, the Great Lakes Esports Conference, and Cleveland State is going to be featuring Olimar here first as their player Arctic, and Heidelberg is in play with Diaslime as Alex, or Steve, if you will. And already we can see that Cleveland State is off to a hot start, taking that first stock off of Steve. And Olimar is just one of those characters that can be very, very tricky, and we are just not as familiar or used to them, as we see a second stock now taken off from this Olimar character. Steve finally able to find a little bit of breathing room, as Olimar's job is just to disrupt and be in Steve's face here. Alex doing a good job with some of those forward tilts, but the Pikmin just being a nuisance overall. Good recovery back to stage. And again, it's just all Pikmin non-stop as we see a grab there from Olimar, and a smash attack will take the remaining stock, as Cleveland State will jump out to the early lead, 12-9. We're going to take a short break, and we will be back with game number 2 shortly. Don't go anywhere. and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 of Heidelberg versus Cleveland State. And as we saw, this Almar knows their stuff and was able to dismantle our Steve player for the tune of 3 stocks. So Cleveland State with the lead currently at 12 to Heidelberg's 9. And we can see already out of the gate that this Almar, once again, using those Pikmin, trying to create some heavy damage early on, but Kirby's not going to go down without a fight, that's for sure. Good dodge roll there. Almar able to get a grab off. Kirby's now going to try to find some space to recover. Good nair. And yeah, Kirby I think was a smart choice against this character pick. Just the smaller size definitely is going to be able to take care of those Pikmin a little bit easier, as we can see those neutral airs also being able to take care of them. But smash attack will take down the first stock of our Kirby, as we now go down 8 stocks to 12 against Cleveland State. More Pikmin plucking, but a good little tilt there. Almar able to recover, just trying to get that smash attack going here as Fire Pikmin doing some damage. Another up tilt there, taking down the second stock of our Kirby player, as it's Cleveland State 12, Heidelberg 7. Almar using the Pikmin just to safely regain neutral back on stage here. Good pancaking and good forward tilt there from the Kirby. Able to get a side B off with the fire attack, but still nothing going as far as the kill confirms. And right now Kirby's just handling all the Pikmin that's being chucked their way, until finally going in for the attack and Almar able to disrupt. And right now we just don't have an answer for how to deal with these pesky Pikmin. Good smash attack there from Kirby, able to take the first stock off of Almar. That's got to be at least a good feel-good for Albarius, as we've struggled to make any headway against this Almar thus far. And with that smash attack off stage, Cleveland State will go ahead 11-6 over Heidelberg. We're going to take a short break. We'll figure out who our next player up will be, and we will be right back. welcome back, folks. If you are just now tuning in, this is game number 2 of our Smash-a-thon as we are taking on Cleveland State University. And so far, Cleveland State has been a powerhouse with this Arctic Olimar player. So far, only losing 1 stock. Sam Show, our team captain, though, coming in for Heidelberg, rocking the Palutena, the black warrior goddess that you see there. And yeah, just in general, Olimar is one of those characters that he is very viable and competitive. We just don't see a whole lot of players, at least in our conferences that we've played so far. And we've had an uphill battle just trying to navigate through the Pikmin as he's able to get an explosive light off there. Olimar's bread and butter is to throw the Pikmin, which do various amounts of damage. Palutena with a nice grab, but unable to get the back throw, but does get the smash attack off and is able to bring it down to Cleveland State 10, Heidelberg 6. But yeah, Olimar's bread and butter is to just throw the Pikmin, follow it up with grabs, smashes, whatever have you. As we see there, the grab attack was able to kill Palutena, take a stock, if you will. So it is now Heidelberg 5, Cleveland State 10. Palutena getting the nairs going, though, able to just disrupt this Olimar from having the time and space to throw those Pikmin. Anything you can do to create that that space and disrupt their neutral game is going to be to your benefit. Good grab into a nair there for Palu. Tries for the explosive light. Olimar with the smash attack. Not enough just yet, as Palu is able to recover, but taking heavy damage there. Palutena with a good side attack there. Trying to use that space to avoid the Pikmin with the auto reticule. But with that grab and forward throw, will take down another stock as it's now Heidelberg 4, Cleveland State 10. Sam Show trying to use the reflector, but only temporarily was successful, but was finally able to get a grab and a back throw. Bringing us down to Cleveland State 9 stocks to Heidelberg's 4. We'll be back with game number 4 headed your way shortly. Don't go anywhere. Alright, and welcome back, esports fans, as we are now... Oh. We seem to be having some technical difficulties right now, as I can sense that there's something going on with the controller. As I was about to say, Cleveland State sending in Riolu as Min here. But yeah, unfortunately, we are having some controller issues on the side of Heidelberg. So I'm going to assume that we're going to do a little bit of a reset situation while we try to navigate fixing the controller issue. Alright, we're going to take a short break while we try to fix this controller issue, and we will be right back. Alright, sorry folks. We had a little bit of technical issues with our player Sam Show's controller where he was not able to move in the last game. So, alright, we are running it back, so to speak, as we are now back into the stage. Sam Show rocking Palatana here with one stock remaining, taking on Riolu, the Min player here for Cleveland State. Palo able to connect on that explosive light. Nice forward tilt there. Min finding a tough time creating some space right now. But having said that, able to get Palu off stage and then do a really damn good job ledge guarding there. As Cleveland State now goes up 9 stocks to 3. We'll take another break and we will be back with our final player of game number 1. So don't go anywhere. All right, and welcome back, Heidelberg Esports fans, as we are sending in our final player of match number 1 here, Claus on Inkling. And interestingly enough, these two characters that we're seeing on screen, the Inkling and Min Min, are the two characters that he plays, and already he's coming in with a mission right now. Racking up the damage, this Min Min having a tough time trying to find an in on this Inkling. Able to get a couple of attacks off there, though. And with that up smash, we'll take off a stock on the Min Min, sending us to 8 stocks for Cleveland State, 3 stocks for Heidelberg. Haven't seen Claus's Inkling just yet today. We've seen him in some previous matches. And as we see that Min Min unfortunately SDing off stage, now it's 7 stocks for Cleveland State, 3 stocks for Heidelberg. But I will say that he is proficient at a good number of characters here. Good DI recovery there for Claus. And with that smash attack, it will send him down to 2 stocks remaining for Heidelberg, as 7 stocks remain for Cleveland State. One more pesky stock on this Min Min, as it seems like this Min Min is finally able to find some time and space and starting to figure things out against Claus's Inkling. Good bomb throw, though, by the Inkling to generate a little bit of damage on him. Misses on that down B. Or I'm sorry, on that side B. Min Min with a good neutral air there. And we'll take another stock off of Claus as we're down to our final stock remaining. All that momentum that we had to start, and right now this Min Min is just able to work their way through this Inkling strategy. But don't count Claus out just yet, as he's able to make a little bit of a comeback here. Right now it's the neutral game that's definitely paying dividends for this Min Min. Good nair from Min Min, as we're able to get that side B, but they're able to mash out of that quickly. Good follow-up set of combos there for Riolu, as Claus is able to regain back to neutral stage. Tries to get that kill confirm move, but not enough just yet. Good and forward air. Good recovery from Claus. And right now it's just the neutral air, dash dancing, whatever have you, that's keeping us alive. But that neutral air, not quite enough to send him off stage. Good DI from Claus, good recovery. One good hit from either player. And with that gigawatt hit, we'll be able to take the remaining stock off of Claus, as Cleveland State will take game number 1 here against Heidelberg. We're going to take a little bit of a breather, and we will be back with game number 2 headed your way shortly. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back, Heidelberg esports fans, as we are headed to game number 2 of our Great Lakes esports match, Heidelberg University versus Cleveland State University. Heidelberg opting to send in D-Dog on Pyra and Cleveland State sending in Dreamless on Me Sword Fighter, which is that, I guess, girl-looking character with a flower in hand there, if you will. As we see a nice, good ledge guard there from Cleveland State, taking us to 12-11 in favor of Cleveland State. D-Dog with the windup, unfortunately leaving him open there to get punished. Good dodge there from the Me Sword Fighter, but good neutral game from Dreamless. D-Dog able to connect on that side B. And just like that, with the up tilt for the kill confirm, it is now Heidelberg 10, Cleveland State 12. D-Dog opting to switch over to Pyra, the fiery warrior of the two. A little bit more of a heavy hitter, but he also does feel a little bit more at ease. Almost got the kill confirmed there, but good DI from Dreamless. As they do SD off stage, it is now Heidelberg 10, Cleveland State 11. Good forward tilt there. Good neutral game there from D-Dog with Mithra, excuse me. Playing patiently. That up tilt can definitely be a nuisance if left to their own devices. Shuriken attack from Dreamless will be enough to get him off guard and take the final stock. So it is now Heidelberg 9, Cleveland State 11, as we will take a short break and be back with match number 2 headed your way shortly. Stick around.
It's their pyro method.
It's their pyro method?
Yeah. It seems like it's 13 captain, so I'll just go, oh, so I'm just even more close than I already thought.
Don't be beating yourself up. You gotta stock on, so. Well, they gotta stop on themselves, I should say.
Take them!
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's fair and valid for her to switch over just to get ready for that match. This has been a marathon. Oh, we're going hero.
Oh. And we are... are back. We are sending out Dia Slime, and she's opting to go Hero, which we haven't seen Hero very much, or really at all.
We see the Hero in practice a lot, but I don't know if Dia's deployed Hero in a match so far this year. So,
and it's also surprising because Dia also would say, "I will not go Hero during matches," because they just don't like it.
I'm thinking this could be some sort of a matchup pick here, wanting to opt for something a little different opposed to Steve, which I don't blame, honestly.
Yeah.
Try something different. By the way, joining me on the microphone is once again D-Dog, our Pyramithra player here. And with that forward smash, it'll be Cleveland State going up 11 stocks to 8. Hero trying to get the sleep off, but a good dodge there from the knee sword fighter. But not that time, was unable to avoid it.
Good snooze. And bounce, so they can't use the shuriken, or they couldn't for a while.
Spacing wasn't there for the snooze that time. But yeah, Hero is an interesting pick. A good choice just to try to give yourself a little bit of a different moveset. As
good try by the spike from the sword fight.
Yeah, from Dreamless, but you know, good thing for Hero here. Dia Slime able to recover. And yeah, for those that are just tuning in, Cleveland State, they're just one of those perennial, really talented teams across the board with all of their games. We saw they were SDing for a stock, bringing us to now 7-10 in favor of Cleveland State.
Psych up, so next move.
Ooh, what happened?
There
Okay.
we go.
Good recovery.
Hopefully Hero has a better recovery than Alex does. I think we were trying to use snooze there.
Yep, and Dreamless trying to do some damage from afar with the shuriken and then close the gap. Hero with a nice little buff there for increasing their speed from the looks of it.
Yeah. I want to say psych up.
Tries for the whack, nothing happening. Goes for the bounce, and now it's going to nullify that shuriken move, but a couple of forward tilts. Able to get Hero off ledge, gets another one off.
Green was doing a good job at shrugging sword fighter. Good bounce.
And right now, Hero having a tough time trying to connect with some of those bigger attacks. Goes for the kaboom, does hit that one. Now opting for oomph, so giving them a little bit of a boost on their smashes, but with 169%.
A crit hit.
I was going to say, yeah, one good smash attack and they're out of there. So, Heidelberg goes down 6 stocks to Cleveland State's 10. We'll take a short break and we will be back with game number 3 in a moment. So, don't go anywhere. and welcome back, Heidelberg esports fans, as we are in match number 3 here of game 2, Heidelberg University versus Cleveland State. And so far, the captain for Cleveland State, Dreamless, here on Sword Fighter, has come up pretty big, taking down 2 of our players. But we're sending in our captain, Sam Show, who is rocking Palutena. Let's see if we can figure this Sword Fighter out, as Palu's doing a good job with those nairs.
Good job juggling for a second. Missed the timing on the bomb.
I think it was spacing more than timing, but Palu with a good grab there, forward throw. Sword Fighter able to recover, but Palu now trying to continue that juggle.
That spacing is good on the bomb.
Good down tilt there by Sam Show, catching them off guard. Sword Fighter gets a couple grabs off, but Sam Show able to get out of those juggles. Tries to approach, but the shield prevents any damage.
I'm still doing an amazing job with them.
Oh, and that smash attack, my goodness, taking a stock off of Sam Show there. He's doing such great work, but man, oh man, this Sword Fighter, you get one good move off and they're they're capitalizing for sure. Sword Fighter with a grab, but with the grab and the back throw, Sam Show finally able to take down Dreamless from Cleveland State, as it is now 5-9 in favor of Cleveland State. We'll take a break and we will be back with game number 4 shortly, so stick around. And welcome back, folks, as we are now here in game number 4 of Heidelberg versus Cleveland State. Dreamless, their captain, hung around for a good long while, but now it is MJB's turn, rocking Hero. And as we just saw, Dia Slime came in as Hero a little bit ago. The thing of note is the menu with the magic power abilities.
They snooze a lot.
Yeah, but so far they haven't been able to capitalize, which is good news for us, as Sam's doing some work here with the neutral airs.
Doing a good job making Hero in the air where he can't do his magic. Yeah,
Hero tries for the bang, but a good counter there from Palu. Sends it right back in his direction. Up throw there from Hero, but Samsho able to recover. Getting back into those neutral airs once again, but a good forward smash will take care of that, and it is now Cleveland State 8, Heidelberg 5. Those nair loops can be a troublesome thing if you don't know how to get out of them, as we saw Sam racking up 50% damage there.
Sam doing an amazing job right now, edge guarding, and then racking up damage.
Smash attack from the Hero is going to put that to a halt for the time being, and he's going to opt to recover with the warp. Right in his face. I don't know if he was expecting that. Good recovery from the Hero, and that side smash is going to take care of a stock, and it's now Heidelberg 4, Cleveland State's 8. And over time, Hero's magic power meter does start to increase alongside of attacks that he's able to land and attacks against him. So even though he was depleted for a little bit, he's back at 50. Hero opting for bounce here, which is going to make some of those attacks bounce right off of him and nullify it like that explosive light attack.
Know that the bounce
It's like a reflector, so.
it is. I just didn't figure that it would bounce the bomb. Because, it's not shooting out of the
Hey, you learn something every day, D-Dog. Alright, Hero is able to recover. Sam tried for that down smash, but unable to connect.
Psycho could
Smash attack there on Palu. Avoids the fireball. Tries for the explosive light, but unable to connect. Good forward tilt there from MJB.
tries for boom, does not connect.
And that smash attack will do it. So it is now in the I guess the driver's seat. Cleveland State with 8 stocks to Heidelberg's 3. We'll be sending in our final player here shortly, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. potentially. As we have Cleveland State's MJB rocking Hero, and we have Heidelberg's Claws coming in as Inkling. Claws seems to be our cleanup guy in a lot of these matches from what I've been noticing.
He is. He likes making sure he gets to play honestly.
Which does make sense. As we see him doing a good job with ledge guarding there, he gets a good side B off to bury him in the ground temporarily. Hero being coated in that paint is going to make it ever more dangerous for those smash attacks. Unfortunately, he does not connect on that, but a good grab. Tries for the bomb throw, but Hero able to avoid it. And right now, Hero checking out that sub-menu, not finding what he likes, and that smash attack will take off the stock, so it is now Heidelberg 3 to Cleveland State 7. You're awfully quiet, D-Dog.
I just watched it. But no. Back to neutral game. Hero has Psych Up and does.
Oh, the shield break is not a good.
With Psych Up, does not come out and play.
And with
Psych
that,
Up again, so does lose it there.
and with that, Heidelberg now down to 2 stocks remaining.
This Hero is just. I don't know what he's thinking.
I mean, depending on what's being thrown your way, that might be the way to do it. As Inkling able to do a good aggressive game there up until the side attacks from Hero. Tries for the kaboom and does hit it, and it will be enough to take the stock. So it is now Heidelberg 1 to Cleveland State 7.
And Hero does have Psych Up and does lose it. We're at 78, so getting close to the kill percentage. Psych Up again. Crit, and that is the game.
Yeah, with that smash attack, it will take the final stock, and it will be Cleveland State winning overall 2-0. We thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to take a little bit of an extended break. We might actually be shutting down the stream, but we will be back in probably about 15-20 minutes for our third and final match of the evening, which will be Marvel Rivals. So we look forward to you guys tuning back in, and we will see you guys next time.